Welcome to Esports Africa News. I'd like you to introduce yourself and tell us who you are, what you've done, the country, and why we're here. Because you are the national team manager. Well, I've said it, but anyway, you tell us who you are.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Um, sorry, I'm Jean-Philippe from Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire. I'm the national team manager for Esports Nation Cup, and I'm here to discuss about this huge opportunity that we have for the Esports Nation Cup in Côte d'Ivoire for how many players we got here, and I'm glad to be here, and
No,
it's okay.
that's it. No, thank you so much for making time, and I really appreciate it because you have sort of had to cut short some of your meetings to be here. So I
Yeah.
really, really appreciate that. And congratulations for being nominated as a national team manager. I bet it was a big relief because I know you from, many years ago. You've been doing so many things, Orange, France, and all the other activities. So having this other bigger opportunity, which is a Nations Cup, it sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a really big opportunity for Cote d'Ivoire. We struggle, that Africa always have many issues to be on the big competition worldwide. And in Cote d'Ivoire, we struggle and we fight for the gamers, especially on fighting games and football games, to be part of the international community, international esports events through Orange Esports experience, like you say. But also we have to help some guys on fighting games to be part of Evo Las Vegas, Evo France last year, and IESF also. And we put forward all the people, all the gamers in Ivory Coast. We try to put forward all gamers on all game titles, and as many as PUBG Mobile, eFootball. We are on, for example, we also work on the FIFA World Cup
Oh, wow, that's
for
great.
this year and previous year. It's for We are at the fifth participation in IFIBA, the IFIBA
All
also.
right. Oh, good.
Yeah, so we are working on many game title to be part of the international competition, international event. And as we always say, it's not worldwide, it's not international, it's not global without Africa. And I think that
Yes.
it's important right now to remember to be remembered as a part of the global of the earth, at the past of the world, and
Mm.
even in esports, especially in esports, because Africa has the youngest population in the world. So this part is very important because who is the main gamers, the main players in esports? The young.
Mm.
So we have to be an essential parts of the esports event, the esports global initiative.
No,
So
that sounds
it
great.
is
That
normal.
sounds
It's
great.
normal to be part of the Esports Nation Cup because we have the most. We have the continent. Africa has 54 countries.
Yeah,
I think that it's the continent with the most country in the world. So we can't do something without Africa.
absolutely. And I was happy to see the number. I think we had 14 national team managers and then six national uh, team
Partner.
partners. Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that, which is great. It's a good number. Normally, you have one or two African countries representing, which is not particularly nice. But here's the case: we've got a few more numbers on the table. So we're looking for a Pan-African, collaboration to bring Africa more success at the Nations Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So talk about Ivory Coast. Let's focus on the Esports Nations Cup. What, as a national team manager, I think this week you guys have to send your coaches. How was that process like? What are the limitations you're seeing? Some things that we should have put in place, but now that we are aware, how do we put those measures in place looking forward for next year?
Okay. So as team manager, I have to choose first the coach, uh, and it was a little bit difficult because we don't have many coaches in all the game title. The team game title like CS2 or Apex, Valorant, etc. We
Mm.
don't have so many coaches in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, because it's not game title that very used, very played in such country like Côte d'Ivoire or Ghana, Nigeria, etc. We have some teams, we have
Yeah,
players, but we don't have the local, competition. The very local on Valorant. We don't have championship or league, CS2, and
yeah,
we are not on the map for the publisher. So
yeah.
it was
That's the
difficult to
limitation.
yeah, there's many limitations at this time, and it was difficult to find some Ivorian first, and then some African coaches, because we are looking first for African and Ivorian coaches, and we think that it's important to promote the local people and the local skills and talent we can have. So first it was the coaches, and we don't have many coach in Africa and in Ivory Coast. We have one coach, for example. We have only one coach from Côte d'Ivoire, and we have another coach from outside Africa. We have two other coach from outside of Ivory Coast. So in African coach, and all the coach are from France or England, even
Mm.
Kazakhstan.
Yeah,
It is very difficult to have coaches
right.
on these team titles. But we hope that this new opportunity will allow us to find or to allow some people to get in the
Mm.
coach or the player initiative to or coach will say that, oh, it's okay. I want to be a coach, esports coach in Valorant, or esports coach in role. And this, for example, we received an email from some guys from Canada, proposed to
Mm.
accompany us to teach and to form to get some African coaches. So they
Mm.
will help
That's
us to
interesting.
to improve, to improve some people who want to be coach in some title, to have the correct information, the correct path to know how to be a coach in Valorant, in League of Legends, Mobile Legend, etc. So it's
Uh,
very
that,
cool, and I think it's good for the future.
Absolutely. I think that aligns with Andrew's question that coach doesn't have to be local and then it's an opportunity to upskill. So if you get an interest from the likes of Canada, US, wherever, with special skill, obviously you're vetting them to see the kind of skill and experience they've got. Then that is absolutely brilliant, which means that it's an opportunity for Ivorian coaches or African coaches to also come together and learn, you know, I know we're talking about Esports Nations Cup for 2026, but obviously
Mhm.
there's an opportunity to grow a wider base for next year and
2028, yeah,
going forward. So it'll be good to learn from that.
yeah,
It's
and
Ivory
I
Coast.
think that,
Sorry,
yeah.
go on.
No, I think that it's as you said, it's a very good opportunity, and we have some people that we might have we that might been some coach for 2028 edition. So
Mhm.
from Ivory Coast, because I think that as in football or in basketball, it's important now to have local coaches and no
Yeah.
more coaches from Europe or United States, America. We need some African coaches even in esports.
No, absolutely. That's great, and I think that would be a good channel to start with, coaching shoutcasters, and it will give us the opportunity to structure the whole esports ecosystem from national level to game developers to teams to athletes and other associated industries, which is great. Is Ivory Coast going to participate, or how many genres of esports titles is Ivory Coast going to participate in?
We are engaged in, I think, let me, in 20, 12
12 of
games.
those. That's quite a
Yeah,
big number, which is great. That's quite a big
but
number.
we want to be at in 12 game title, but maybe we have some limitation because of the region restriction.
Mm,
For example, they put us in the I think it is in Valorant.
mm,
There's some servers issues in Africa. So if we want to generally when we want to play, we
mm,
connect to the EU West server,
mm,
and sometimes on South African server sometimes. So
mhm.
depending on the games, but you can't organize a competition and want to have only one region named Africa,
Mhm. Mhm.
because you can't play if you are in Morocco. It's difficult to play a game between Morocco and South Africa, whatever
Yeah.
the game can be.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
If
of
you
the
are
server
if you
locations,
Yeah.
Morocco's got
So
advantage
because
over the EU servers.
exactly, and the South African will be you have advantage on the South African server. So
Yeah.
it's difficult, and this is, I think that it's another fight we're gonna have with the for the future, maybe for
Mm.
this edition, because we warned them for this edition that the qualifier would be so difficult if
Mm.
we go with this kind of region and say
Mm.
that there's only region, Africa region. It's not possible. Africa is too big. I think
Mm.
that people don't doesn't really know how big is Africa.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
They really know how big is Africa. The better is the in this way is to have at least three regions. You know,
Mhm.
uh, South Africa and all the country Australia, like South Africa, Namibia,
Yeah.
Madagascar,
South. Yeah.
Zimbabwe, yeah,
Southeastern. We can do that, and
Southeast,
then
exactly,
we can do the
and
northern.
West,
Then we can
the
do the
northern,
west
and the west,
across. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
That
it's
sounds.
better
That
like this
sounds like a
way.
good plan.
This is what we say to ANC about the region, and then maybe organize after this if you have an online offline competition to have the final
Mm.
qualified country to the ENC. But this maybe will have happen for next edition. So for this year, you we are working and with them, with the funded the EWCF, to find a solution, because we can play like Africa. We can have, for example, a game between Côte d'Ivoire and Kenya, or
Mm.
Morocco, Tunisia against South Africa. It will be
Mhm.
difficult, very difficult. The
Uganda.
ping,
Mm.
the
Mm.
ping is awful. The ping is awful. It's not possible.
So
We
this
try.
this thing is highlighting a lot of things. Then it's highlighting, apart from the African issues, which are like the systems, the structures. It's also highlighting a global issue, which is a fair play issue.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes that gives me topics to write about. That the Esports Nations Cup is highlighting a number of issues, which is fair play in esports, and then structural systems in Africa.
Yeah, and maybe it's the right place to put these issues right before the in front of the publisher, and say that
Mm-hmm.
we can't go further like this with no server, with in Africa. We
Mm-hmm.
at least we need, for each game titles from each publisher, we at least we need two server in Africa.
Mm.
For if you take for example EAFC, I know that there is a server right now in Nigeria. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but we need more. We need more.
Mm.
We PUBG. We need at least two or three PUBG server in Africa, because
Mm.
there's a lot of competition on PUBG Mobile.
Mm.
We need eFootball
Yeah.
server with
Konami.
Konami. We need Riot Game server. We
Mm.
need all the publisher to have at least one, even two server in Africa
Mm.
to have some good people. And we need this server to have to improve. If you want that our players improve in all competition on this game title, we need to play in good condition. So for this, we need some server in Africa. So maybe it's a right way, the right moment to say to publisher, hey, we also need some server in Africa. We exist, we play a lot, and we need some server.
I think this is a great opportunity because it's a start. We've been talking about this for like 5, 6 years or even 10 years about servers, and then
Yeah.
now we've got the Nations Cup, which is now going to actually show how much the issue is. But do we have any proposed solutions apart from at this moment in time now that we don't have servers? Is Ivory Coast going to look to send their athletes abroad closer to the servers to be able to qualify?
Yeah, for this issue, we have the chance. I can say we have the chance that many of our players lived in France, in Europe, generally they lived in Europe. Some of them live in Ivory Coast, of course, but the for example on Valorant, 90% of our players are in France, so it can be an advantage, but
Yeah.
maybe not, because if, for example, they say, okay, for Valorant, you will play on the Middle East and Africa region, so you will plug on the Middle East server. It's not an
Yeah.
advantage for our player. It's not an advantage, neither for our Ivory Coast, our Côte d'Ivoire players, or not for those who are in France or United Kingdom or Italy.
That's very interesting. So on that note, going for this ENC, obviously you've had your coaches selected. Then you're gonna start looking for your teams for the what do you call it? The various genres of esports. Which other opportunity are you looking to? Is the government supporting you in this? What are the lessons that we are supposed to be learning in this?
Yeah, we have the chance to hire. I have, because I'm national team manager, sadly not national team partner for this
Yeah.
year, but I have the chance to be the president of the Ivorian Esports Federation. So it's not a difficulty. It's not difficult for me to have the support of the government about it. I already talked about this competition to the Ministry of Sports. They are okay. They are nice to support us on this competition, and I think that it's a big opportunity. They know that it's a big opportunity for Ivory Coast to maybe shine in the shine in the global competition. So it's always fine for the country to be for the government to be involved in such as good and big competition, sports competition, not only e-sport but sports competition. and
Yeah.
and I think it will be also a chance for us to, we hope that we will qualify on many titles. It will be also a chance for us to show to this Ministry of Sport and other people that saying that of esport, this is the video games is for young people, for children, etc. To show us that esport is no more a thing for children or for young people, but it's a big industry. It's the real industry, the real sports right now, and we must get in. Africa must get in the esports ish. All thing regarding now esport in Africa, we can go forward without our governments. When, for example, take the France. Take France, for example. They have helped all the community get some help from the government to be
That is
for, because
interesting.
yeah, and if you see France today, France is a big country of esports. A
So
big
so talk
country of
about
esports.
France Ivory Coast connection, right? In this particular selection, are you focusing, or is there a chance for local esports athletes? Because I know Ivory Coast is big, and obviously it's not
Yeah.
just Abidjan. How is the recruitment going to be? Is it going to be with across the country? Have you got special pockets? Have you got special communities? Because one of the things that I've seen in my feed is people wanting to know where they can get information on the various national recruitment processes. How is your recruitment going to be like?
Okay, so we open, it's an open qualify, open selection. So if you want to, all player want to try to be a part of the roster, just have to
Mm,
register.
mm,
And
mm,
after the coach will have the only the coach have to choose the player who will be
mm.
selected for the final roster. But
Oh, that's interesting.
all Ivorian player can be part of this selection, national
Mm,
selection, and the coach generally will have some tryouts and
mm,
say, okay, this player is good, and also most of them, not to say all of them, all of the
mm,
coach say that we need a minimum level.
mm, mm,
We need a minimum level to be to have a chance to be qualified. For example, the Valorant coach say that
mm,
I need at least the player to be immortal, to
mm,
have the rank immortal in Valorant,
yeah,
and
mm,
then maybe we can have some something current, something
mhm.
a team with. You can have, for example, a team Valorant team with one or two immortal and a diamond or a gold.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
just the basic setup
yeah.
for. No, that's interesting. So I'm happy to hear that this is open to the wider gaming and esports community in Ivory Coast. So anybody from northwest, east, south of
Yeah,
Ivory Coast can
and
participate in
even
this.
outside the country, it's
Yeah,
open to
diasporan
all Ivorians.
Africans.
Yeah.
Yeah, diasporan Africans, diasporan Ivorians. Yeah, talk about diasporan Ivorians. I did meet someone at Evo. I did meet someone at Evo, and I did meet another Nigerian at Evo who were good gamers. I think I'll have to look through my network to try and find them. There's also, I don't know if she's from Ivory Coast. There's a young girl signed up to a French esports team. We met at Evo. So that's a
Mhm.
good way. That's a good topic. This is where diaspora Africans, this is where you need them most. You know, this is where you need them most. That they can come and register for their countries. So the Esports Nations Cup, there's an opportunity for diaspora Africans to jump on board and make sure, because if they're here, they'll have, hopefully they have good skill sets. Their level of playing will be greater because of the ping level and all that experience, which can enable and propel the various nations to go further. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Right. No, I definitely will look out for those contacts and ping them across if I find them. But I think it's a good idea that you involve a lot of the diaspora Africans in your selection. And also going forward for this esports that I know it's happened now. It's sort of come at a cliff edge where we've been nominated. But in your mind or in your setup, Federation Ivorian Esports and all that, have you got anything planned for developing esports now that you've seen Nations Cup, you've seen the AFCON event? So we're getting very big international tournament. What are you looking to put in place for the future next year, especially for the years to come? What are you looking to put in place to help this process be a lot smoother?
We already, even without Esports Nation Cup, in Ivory Coast with the federation, we already work on the future. So we plan to have some local competition uh, on so many games like eFIBA, like 2K, EAFC, eFootball, Mobile Legend, Valorant. So we have many initiatives to have local and local, regional, and national competition or league to uh, to be able to have some a good skill and good player all across the across the country. You know, So, for example, we have 14 districts in the
Oh,
in Ivory Coast, and we plan to have a minor league in every of these districts.
yeah,
And
that's
then
interesting.
the champions, all the champion of the top two or three of this league, the regional league, so will be brought to the national level and have the national competition.